Welcome back to Scotty's Lifestyle, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely delicious Rasta pasta with chicken and shrimp. So stay tuned to see the full recipe and step-by-step instruction on how to do this. Okay guys, so these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make this Rasta pasta with chicken and shrimp. So these are my shrimp, washed and everything. And this is my chicken breast I'm going to be using, and of course I'm using the penne pasta, and I already prepared my season. This is scallion, thyme, onion, garlic and Scotch bonnet pepper finely chopped, and I have some fresh parsley here, and I have the bell peppers, the Rasta color, red, green and gold, and I have some olive oil here that I'll also be using. So here I just add a teaspoon of paprika, all-purpose, chili powder and some hot crushed red pepper flakes. So I'm just going to mix this all up before adding it to the shrimp and the chicken. I will also be adding some jerk season to the shrimp. I want to get a little bit spicy, and I'll be using the Walker's jerk season. So I'm just going to pour a little olive oil on the shrimp. And I'm going to be adding some of this seasoning to it, and you can use any spice or season that you prefer. Don't have to use the same thing as me. I'm going to be adding just a little bit of this jerk season. Don't need too much, just 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm just going to rub this in. And I'm not adding any salt to my shrimp because the season that I'm using, they already contain salt. So as I say, you can use any season of your choice. I just like to use these. So I'm going to season up the chicken now, the chicken breast. But before I season them up, I'm going to beat them out to get them flat. Then I'm going to add the seasoning to it. I'm going to also add a little bit of olive oil to it first. And I'm just going to pour this all over. Then you want to rub it. So here we have it. What I'm going to do next is that I'm going to work on getting the pasta ready. So I'm going to add up pot to the fire to boil the pasta in, and then I'm going to sear the shrimp for 1 minute on each side. And what I'm going to actually do with the chicken, I'm going to coat this chicken in some flour and I'm going to fry it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this on top of the pasta. So let me show you. So I just added my pot for the pasta. So I'm just going to add some salt to it. And the key thing to note, guys, before you add your pasta to the pot, ensure that the water is boiling. So I'm just going to leave this and let it boil. So now that the water is boiling, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a small amount of olive oil to the pot, just to stop the pasta from sticking. Then I'm going to add the pasta to the boiling water. Okay, I'm not using everything, I'm using about half. So I'm going to let it boil for 10 minutes and then I'm going to drain it. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to be working on the shrimp. So I'm going to sear the shrimp while the pasta is boiling. Sear the shrimp. Meanwhile the pasta is cooking, I'm going to now work on the shrimp. So I'm just going to sear it on each side for a minute. So I'm going to add a little olive oil. So ensure that the bottom of the pot is basted. So I'm just going to let this get hot before adding the shrimp to the pot. So now that the oil is hot, I'm going to add the shrimp. Remember guys, let's bring the flame down. I just want it to stay on each side for a minute. And guys, remember, shrimp do not take long to cook. So you just want to sear them on each side for just a minute and then take them out. I'm going to turn them over. So let them stay on this side now for 1 more minute, and then I'm going to take them out. Now I'm going to take them out. Here we have it. So we're just gonna rest this down until we're ready to use it again. Alright guys, it is now 10 minutes. So I'm gonna check if the pasta is ready. And yes, it is ready. So I'm gonna turn it off and drain it, because we don't want to overcook the pasta. So I'm gonna turn it off now and drain it. So now I'm gonna drain the pasta. Be careful guys. Guys, so you have to drain the pasta and do not leave it in the water, because it will still be cooking. So you want to drain it as soon as that 10 minutes has passed. You just drain it and let it sit until you're ready to use it. Okay. So here I have some flour which I'll be using to coat the chicken before I fry it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add some seasoning to the flour. I'm adding some all-purpose. I'm also adding some chili powder. And I'm adding also some paprika. I'm going to mix this all up before coating the chicken with it. And you can use any spices you want to use in your flour. So you just want to get the chicken all coated. So I'm going to put both pieces in. I'm just going to get everything covered with flour. And guys, if you had eggs, or if you want to use eggs, you could have also added the chicken and the eggs after you put it in the flour and put it back in the flour in order to get it more crispy. But I'm not using any eggs, but you can use eggs when you're making yours. So you want to get the chicken coated properly. So I'm just going to rest that here before frying. Add your pot to the stove to fry your chicken. And we're going to add some oil to the pot. You need a good amount of oil to fry chicken in. So you want to let this oil get hot before you add the chicken to it. So now that the oil is hot, I'm going to be adding the chicken. So I'll be adding both of them one time to the pot. And when you're adding the chicken, just be gentle so that the oil don't burn you. And what we're going to do, we're going to let these fry on both sides for about 5 to 8 minutes. And guys, it's chicken breast, and because I beat them out, they're kind of flat, so they're not going to take long to cook. So you just want to fry them on both sides for 5 to 8 minutes, and then they should be good. Now I'm going to take them out, guys. So I've been frying for 6 to 8 minutes on each side. Remember, it's chicken breast, so it's not going to take too long to cook. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to plate it with this piece here, but I'm going to put some also in the pasta itself. So I'm going to cut up a slice, cut up this piece. The slices, add to the pasta. So I'm going to be adding bits and pieces of it to the pasta while I'm going to be serving it with this piece on top. Alright guys, so now it's time to make the pasta sauce. So I'm going to add my olive oil to my hot pan. Guys, we don't need a lot of oil. This should do the trick. Alright, now that my oil is hot, I'm going to bring my flame down to medium. First thing I'm going to be adding is my onions. Scallion, crushed garlic, and Scotch bonnet pepper. Guys, you can smell the pepper. The pepper is really hot, and that's because I wanted it to be spicy. I put a lot of the seeds in it. So I'm just going to saute this off for 1 minute. Alright guys, so now it's 1 minute. I'm going to add in my fresh thyme. Then I'm going to add my bell peppers, and I'm going to saute this off for 1 minute again. Remember, you don't want your bell pepper to be soggy. I'm going to go in with my fresh parsley. It's now 1 minute. So the next ingredient I'm going to add to it, I'm going to add some heavy cream. I'm going to add some heavy cream to it. I'm going to shake it up real good. I'm just going to pour some on it. And I'm going to bring the flame up a bit. Adding some more heavy cream. Cover it a little. Then I'm going to be adding some spices to it. I'm going to be adding a little all-purpose to it. Not much, just a little to give it some flavor. I'm going to be adding some paprika. I'm going to be adding some chili powder. Just want to mix that in. And this is just give it some flavor, guys. You can add any spices or season that you like. Also going to be adding some crushed red pepper to just give it a little kick. And I'll also be adding a little bit more of that jerk season. Not much, just a little bit. Like this amount. Going to stir that in. So I'm going to let this stay for a minute, and then I'm going to be adding some cheese to it. I'm going to be adding some Parmesan cheese. I'll also be adding some mixed cheese. And also some mozzarella cheese. Okay guys, it's now 1 minute. So I'm going to be adding the cheese. So the first one I'm going to add is the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to be using 2 to 3 tablespoons, sorry. So that's 3 tablespoons. I'm going to be adding some mozzarella cheese. I'll be using 2 tablespoons. I'm going to be adding some mixed cheese. 2 tablespoons as well. We're going to stir that in. And I'm going to go ahead and add my shrimps. Then I'm going to be adding the pieces of chicken. And just mix that in. Now I'm going to be adding my pasta. Guys, look how creamy this is. Now I'm going to remove the pieces of thyme. I don't need them anymore. So you can take the thyme out at this point. We don't need them anymore. Guys, you can add more cheese if you want it more cheesy. Just gonna add a little bit more pasta. And I'm going to be adding some parsley flakes. Look at it, guys. So this is my Rasta pasta with chicken and shrimp. I'm just gonna add a little bit more mozzarella cheese on top. So guys, this is my chicken and shrimp Rasta pasta. So just tell me what you think about it. Try this recipe. It's similar to the oxtail Rasta pasta. Same concept. So just wait until I plate this and show it to you. Here guys, this is final product. Chicken and shrimp Rasta pasta. And it's a pretty simple recipe to follow. Easy to make. So guys, tell me what you think about this recipe. Remember to like, share and drop a comment, and thanks for the support. Just tell me what you want me to make next and I will make it for you.